Hello and welcome to Life Screenings 1 Minute Film Festival. Life Screenings 1 Minute Film Festival. That's right. Hello, my name is Banks. I am the curator. I've been the curator for about 5 years now. We are in conjunction. We are in cahoots, in association with the Winter Park Public Library, and that's where we are now in Orlando, Florida, actually Winter Park, Florida. We have 1 minute films today. So through Film Freeway, we look for films that show a world we want to live in, interesting, unusual, curious films. This year, actually this month, we received 36 films. I'm going to show about 28 of them. They're 1 minute. I have a couple of the filmmakers in the dugout waiting to come out. We'll be bringing them in later after we show their films. I put the films together in a big, long stretch, and I've given about 2 seconds between each one. So the filmmakers will come in after their film. And hopefully my timing will be perfect so we won't have any glitches. However, it's me, and I have Marcia in the room with me too. Marcia's over there. You can't see her. Maybe you can see her. Let's see if Marcia, there she is. Marcia's going to be here and maybe even asking some questions to the filmmakers, maybe. With that said, let's get started. And this is the first ones. 1 minute, Life Screenings 1 Minute Film Festival.
Confirmed dinosaurs have been emerging from melting polar shocking discovery has stunned the scientific community worldwide. Since our office has been destroyed by a meteor strike, we thought
Though we travel the world over to find the beautiful, we must carry it with us or we find it not. We live in a wonderful world that is full of beauty, charm, and adventure. There is no end to the adventures we can have, if only we seek them with our eyes open. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. I believe the world is incomprehensibly beautiful, an endless prospect of magic and wonder. There is no time to be bored in a world as beautiful as this.
I have come a long way from being abandoned as a child to being showered with love, from a sense of desperation to be understood, to freely expressing myself, from feeling lonely to enjoying my solitude, from being deserted by friends to being a part of them, from a profound sense of failure to the gush of victory. I may seem different from you, but deep within, I'm no different from you. Thank you for accepting me as I am.
And we have the filmmaker with us from.
Nakaragan Festival depicts the rich history and culture of the Aika people. Their love.
Oops. Still learning how that works. I have to stop it first. The filmmaker, Rebecca, let's bring her in. The film is Como Uno, which means she'll have to let us know that, won't she? Hello, Rebecca. How are you?
Hey, Banks. I'm in a car in Spain. Was not expecting to not be home yet, so I hope you can hear me and see me. I will be home soon if I can't.
I can hear you and see you. So uno is one. So what is como? Como uno.
Como is like one. Como uno means like one.
Ah, okay. I get the meaning of that. You're
Yes.
meditating about someone else, and it ends up being yourself, I guess.
It ends up being the man that appears before me, and it ends up seeing that you were actually meditating about each other. So he ends up being in the reality that I'm creating, and vice versa.
Oh my gosh, I love that idea. I'm so glad you told me that. So Rebecca, you have shown, I think 2 months ago, one of your films was in 1 Minute Film Festival, yeah.
Yes.
And now this short little piece. There is a meditative or a Zen quality to your films, if I can remember the first one.
Yeah, there is. I'm trying to create work that is positive, right? That brings a different light to things. And I remember saying that the last interview we had, and because when I created Como Uno, I thought, there's so many films about heartbreak and loss and losing love, and I thought, well, if my belief is that I create my own reality, then why don't we show a film where people can create the reality of love, and it can appear before them.
So true. Oh, I love that train of thought. So, how did this film impact you?
It was very special. It was like the first one I made that we filmed it in a day and put it together and edited like within a few days. And it was very collaborative. That's my fiance in the film, and he was in the first film, Likely, as well. So we love to collaborate. We love to make things, and it's gotten accepted to another festival. So it just makes me excited. So I made another 1 minute film, and now I'm going to start making 2 minute films. And it's just made me feel very confident about my work and confident that I can do other things. Because I'm an actor. So, sorry.
Right. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so I've always been an actor. So it's exciting to me that knowing that I can create my own work.
What if I came to you and I said, I have a 30-second film festival? Could you make a film in 30 seconds?
I'm sure I could.
All right. So what about 15 seconds? If I came to you and said 15
Well,
seconds.
you can tell us. I mean, you can tell a story in any amount of time. You can watch someone for 3 seconds and learn so much.
You can. Rebecca, I love this piece. Como uno.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you. I'm
Also.
sorry if you can't see me or.
No,
hope
I
you
see
can.
you. Oh, yes.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
We do see you. Hold on. Before you
Okay.
go, Marcia's
Yes.
here. And Marcia, do you have any questions for her? No. She does not. So
Okay.
she's just warming up.
Nice.
Rebecca, thank you so much. Please continue sending me your works. And
I will. Thank you, Banks.
we will see you again. Bye-bye.
Of course. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Como uno. That's the wonder of film now, is that someone can be in their car, the filmmaker, and watch the film, and we can be here in a library, and then we can talk about the film afterwards. So that's wonderful. Yes, filmmakers, if you're out there and you're waiting in line, make sure you put your name and also your name of the film. I have 32 films, and I think I invited about 9 of you all to come. So we'll get to it. So let's keep on moving. The thing about live screenings, Marcia, about 6 years I've been doing this. Yeah. We were upstairs at the library, we were downstairs at the old library. Now we're at the new library, and we were totally Zoom. So we were in my house there for a while too. And this is a way to share films from around the world, and then share meeting the filmmakers out there, which is I love that. That's one of the best things about this, is that we get to talk to Rebecca and find out where the piece comes from.
I agree. That's what I talk to friends about. This is the same thing, and you get to meet.
Yeah, you do get to meet them. All right, so let's move on to another little clump of films. Enjoy.
The Haradan Festival depicts the rich history and culture of the Aika people, their love of hunting birds and animals, and ability to mimic the movements and the sounds of various animals such as monkeys, birds, and the frogs are presented, along with their skills in cultivating various crafts and agricultural crops. The Aikas, now receiving the privilege of formal education, have produced teachers, managers, and other professionals enjoying job opportunities inside the Progressive Clark Free Port Zone, contributing greatly to the development of the city. Again, here are the students from the Power Mapalacan TV Center for the Arts, paying tribute to the Aikas in the Haradan Festival!
So I wanted to stop it there just for a moment. We saw two really good films. The one where she is eating the cherry. I love that, and then at the end it becomes completely colorful. I love that one. And then this last one with the eyeball going into it. Wow. I've noticed with this this past 2 months of the films that were sent to me, a lot of animated films. A lot of films, at least that work within animation, and there were some I guess some films, doomsday-ish kind of films. I mean, like that last one is a little. It was beautiful and it was sad at the same time, kind of melancholy. So yes, so let's get started and pick up where we left off. Oh, by the way, yes, I did receive 36 films. 36 films. I'm showing 28 films. We've got like 5 filmmakers that are here. We've showed one film, and we brought in Rebecca for that one. We have Callie on hold. We have Luca. We have Evan Dran. I'm so sorry about that. Killing your name there. And we have Anne, and we may have a couple other filmmakers coming. And these films will be coming later on, and I'll be bringing them in right after we show the film. So let's get started.
स्मॉल TMC कैसा लगा है?
TMC कैसा लग रहा है?
actually knows how much you miss.
Imagine an apple. It may be red, green, a Honey Crisp, Macintosh, or Golden Delicious. Regardless of characteristics or cultivar, the image still appears in your mind. However, there are those that when they think of an apple, they are unable to picture one. In fact, they are unable to visualize anything. This experience is known as aphantasia. It's the inability to actively produce mental imagery. The etymology derives from Aristotle's word for imagination, phantasia, with the A denoting an absence. Simply put, those with aphantasia do not have a mind's eye. For those who have this imagination blindness, one would presume it impedes how they learn and create. However, it has notably affected those within the field of animation, such as animator of The Little Mermaid, Glenn Keane, and Pixar co-founder, Ed Catmull. While research into the experience continues, it serves to be a reminder of the diversity of the human experience and an invitation to examine our own perspective.
Hello, sorry, you're muted, Banks.
There we go. Thank you, Luca. Thank you so much. Welcome. So that was your film, the Secret Life of Lights.
Yes, thank you for receiving me, for receiving my short film. Yes, That was my animated short film. I made it for a discipline in my university. And you asked me something. Sorry.
So where are you physically right now?
Oh, I am in Brazil. I'm in São Paulo. There is a city in that southern part of Brazil. I don't know exactly how to describe it to someone that is not from Brazil. Sorry.
So, Luca, where did you come up with this idea about the secret life of lights?
Well, that's interesting because that scene that we see in the first image of the short is based on a real place. It's based in the room that I live on. Basically, it's part of my house, and I always pass through this place at night and didn't notice anything. But then one day, the window was opened, and I had to close it. But before closing it, I entered in that room at night, and the street lights made that interesting lights that were sorry, it's hard for me to speak in English. Sorry, guys, but
No worries.
looking at that overlaid lights made my head start spinning. Because wait, how can a light that I cannot understand where it's coming from make something so beautiful? How could I not have noticed this my entire life? I've been to that very place thousands of hours. It was in pandemic, so half of my life was being there,
You're
and
right.
still I didn't notice. Oh, sorry, I hadn't noticed. But when I noticed it, I started to think, wait, so light can have an effect, an interesting effect. And as an artist, I have studied other artists that work with light, and then my head started spinning and spinning. And then a car passed by, and I noticed how the car's headlights started changing the way we perceive space. And after that, I had the idea for the animation I had to do to the final exercise of the discipline of the subject. So that's where the idea comes from.
Okay. And when I saw it for the first time, I thought it was actually real. I mean, I thought the animation was so good. I was like, is this animation or is this real? But I love how you took such a small little thing like light coming in from a window and making it, shall we say, choreographed. The lighting was like a dance that you created. Were you deliberately trying to make it dance, or were you just taking it for what it is?
Well, I tried to make a dance. I tried to make something choreographic, but I didn't want to make something that was completely unbelievable. I wanted to make something that we could believe that, of course, in the beginning, it was something that, I tried to recreate the light environment in a computer graphic software, and I tried to experiment with it, try to break it, but just a little. And in the end, I tried to make something that was really choreographic. Of course, I thought the beginning, the middle, and the end as I would thought. As I would imagine choreography, but so I tried to make a light dancing, but I didn't want to make something that couldn't be just a step. But I tried to make something that was somewhat based on reality. Sorry.
Right. I loved it. It was so refreshing. Marcia, what did you think?
I was curious how you did the very ending where all the light just kind of like collapsed on itself or fell apart. That was the last part that I was convinced it was real and you were actually in the room with the light. So I didn't think of it as animation until the last part when it kind of like blew up or something. Right?
It-
So I just wanted to know how you did that and why you did that.
Yes, at the end, did you hear the question, Luca?
Yes, I think so. So, so she was asking me how I did
The end, when it
the end.
collapsed.
So, what's interesting about computer graphics is that we can work with simulation. We can work with things that are that are physically impossible but mathematically possible. That's the power of simulation. And why I wanted to make a 3D animation that was realistic. I could have chosen a different way of portraying light, but I wanted this, let's say, photorealism, so I could, quote unquote, fool people. Not because fooling is something that I want, but because I wanted people to think that it's real and to show how light as a real phenomenon can be magic. And I wanted to make something that was absurd, but still possible in a certain way. Something that was absurd, but was valid in the simulation. And through this thing that was completely absurd, with this explosion that was made by taking different, let's say, light panes and intersecting them in a completely physically possible way, I wanted to make I wanted to make a light spectacle that could make us rethink the light spectacles that we see in everyday life. I hope I could be understood.
Well, yes, you did. You did, and I think you accomplished that. In fact, you did for me. So, are those your dogs in the background?
No, these are my neighbor's dogs, because this house where I live on has a good advantage that light is incredible here. If I open this window, you could see all sorts of light effects being projected on the walls. But the advantage is that the dogs are terrible. Sorry for that. I couldn't. Excuse me.
Well, Luca, thank you so much for sending me your film. We enjoyed it. It was so fascinating. That is one of the great things is that the films that come from around the world are new and original. I mean, yours is very original. So thank you. Continue creating, and by all means, send me any of your films once you have been submitted or been into live screenings. You are always so we waive the fee. So if you have any other films you're doing, maybe you'll do a film on the dogs. But by all means, you can dogs in light. I don't know. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, we'll see you. Luca, The Secret Life of Light. Wow. That Apple one was very interesting too. The one right before that, Apple. So Luca, I'm so glad I got you. So we have a couple of more films coming up, and we have Anne on standby, Callie on standby, and Everendren. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So let's get started on the next one.
a certain bird, the greater honey guide, led us to the bees and their honey. Our ancestors grew to love and cherish the bees. Bees dance, waggle, build, and pollinate for their children and ours. Bees and their friends farm with us, pollinating 2/3 or more of our crop. We no longer just steal the honey. We are the guardians of the bees. As the bees die due to man's pollution and greed, they will take their flowers with them. Pollinators are endangered. As Hamlet asserts, to be or not to be, that is the question. The honey guide led us to the bees, but only the bees can maintain our spirits.
Black Lives Matter.
I need someone to help me, and I know that person is me. And I just need to take that step, make that choice in my mind. I'm going to be the one who helps me. I am the one who gets up. I am the one who stands up, who gets up, who leaves this bed, who takes that step and leaves this house and lives. The question is, will I?
And we are back. Hold on one second. Let me put this on hold for just a minute. There we go. And we are back. And I do have the filmmaker with us from Ruby's Hat and Callie. There
Hello,
you
hi.
are. Hi, how are you, Callie?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for showing this film.
Oh, you are so welcome. Rose's Hat.
Rose's Hat, yes.
Yes.
You were talking to Rebecca about very short films earlier, and this is a very, very short film. It is only actually 20 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you deliberately make it 20 seconds, or did it just come out that way?
It just came out that way. It's a film which is made up of still photographs taken on a 1950s analog camera, a Brownie 127 camera, the kind of camera that was totally ubiquitous in the 1950s and 60s. It was the kind of camera that my family had when I was a small child. And it's a very primitive camera. You just have to point it. You can't change the focus. There's no flash, so you can only ever take photographs out of doors on a sunny day at a certain distance. And I kind of wanted to kind of experiment with using that kind of camera on my own family. And then I kind of the idea really is everyone takes their turn to be the center of attention in this family. So everybody gets a turn at wearing the Rose's hat, sitting on the white chair and smiling, and everybody else sits on the bench waiting for their turn until they get given the hat and they get another go.
That's good. I did that. I'm glad you explained that to me because I did not catch that. I did notice that the person who did not have the hat usually was not the one smiling. Sometimes
that's right. Yes, you only get to smile when you're wearing the hat.
That's right.
But it has that slight sort of jumpiness, which is partly because these cameras. I don't know if you remember them. These 127 cameras. There was no tripod. You can't fix a tripod, and the film is literally film at the back of the camera, so it's always a little bit difficult to register. But yeah.
Now you work in this realm of experimental, I guess, animation, experimental.
Yes.
You create your own music too, correct? That was your
The music for this one was as for a couple of the films that you've shown before, actually, written by a composer called Josh Hagley, especially for the film. And I think he's got a very nice, kind of rather urgent, almost fairground feel to the music for this one, which I like very much.
Fairground feel. I've never I heard those two words together, a fairground feel, but it kind of is very apropos. This one you do animation and you have somebody else do the music. You don't do the music. I thought you did.
No, I quite often do natural sound. I don't ever write the music myself, but sometimes. I mean, the last film you showed was the one with the feet kind of talking to each other, saying "rhubarb, rhubarb, rhubarb." A couple of months ago. Yeah. And so if there's natural sound, I quite often make it myself, either kind of vocalizing it or with kind of a variety of sort of toys and instruments and things.
Right. And that is so original. I mean, I don't see that people experiment in those kind of realms, which is so refreshing. I mean, I've said that twice today, to see these little pieces of snippets that people have put together, which are like gems from, and you're in England, correct?
That's right. Yes, I am.
Yeah, little gems from England or from Spain, like Rebecca had.
There've been some great films so far. I just love some of them. Wonderful.
Okay. Now, what did this film teach you?
Probably never to try and make a film using a Brownie 127 camera again. I mean, one of the problems about it, which you may remember, is that there are literally only 8 exposures on each film. So when I was a child, it's so unlike taking photographs with a digital camera or phone today. I mean, my grandmother would hold this camera and you had to pose and pay attention because otherwise you would waste one of these valuable 8 photographs. But it means that if you want to change the film, it's quite difficult to get it back in position again exactly right for the next bit of the film that you're trying to film. So it's not a very practical way of making a film.
We have come a long way, haven't we?
Yeah, although in a sort of curious sort of way, the sort of feeling is the same in the sense you don't have to do anything. You can just point and click. Right. And so it slightly has that same sensation that I don't have to adjust anything. But the result is very different. And of course, you have to wait for about 3 weeks for the photographs to come back from the developer.
Yeah. My first film was actually a film back in 1995, and that was before there was digital. And yes, we did not know what it looked like until it was sent back 3 weeks later and realized, oh my gosh, we got takes to do. So Callie, what is this is the question I always like to ask you. What is next on the horizon for you? What are you conjuring up?
But at the moment, I'm actually working on the same film I was working on the last time I talked to you. Because as I said, then animation takes a very long time, and I'm working on a film where it's a film where I'm drawing essentially each frame, and it still is only going to end up as like 1 or 2 minutes. But I've been working on it for months, so I'll just carry on making that.
The old school animation is what is it, 32 frames per second, something like that.
Yes. You can kind of get away with maybe sort of 20, 25 or something like that. But yes, you don't get a lot of film for a lot of pictures.
Right. All right. So Luca has a question, and he said, "Could you tell us a bit more about this animation?" I think he's talking about your what you're doing now, the piece you're working on
Oh,
now.
well, the one I'm working on at the moment, is that what Luca
Right.
means?
Right. That's what his question was.
It's a very sad film in some ways. It's a film about hope, about loss, about saying goodbye, and about transformation.
Okay. All right. Okay. Luca, I hope that answered your question. I always look forward to whatever you send to me, Callie. So thank you so very much for it. Marcia, do you have any questions for Callie?
How on the animation thing, is it, how would you characterize the animation? Is it realistic? Is it artistic, graphic? Is there a way to describe what it will appear to us like?
I didn't quite hear that.
She wants to know what is it realistic? Is it caricature? Is it
What the one I'm working on at the moment?
Correct.
It's a very detailed kind of almost like a pen and ink drawing.
Yeah, yeah.
With lots of feathers.
Lots of feathers. All right. Well, is that to tickle us so that we laugh at your?
No, it is quite. I think it's a sad film. It's a sad. I think this one's a sad film. Yeah.
All right.
But I hope you'll see it at some point when I finally manage to finish it.
I will. I definitely will. Callie, thank you so much.
Thank you again for showing it.
Sure. And we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye. Callie is, I think I've seen, we've shown 2 or 3 of her films now. Always intriguing, these little morsels of inspiration that people have that throw out. Thank you so much, Callie. That was wonderful. So we have we have 2 more filmmakers, and let's move on to our next film. And I kind of threw in an Easter egg there, didn't I? A little. I threw in a Lucasfilm again. It was actually by accident. I had 2 of his files, and watching it the second time, you see the detail in the in how the lighting just kind of like flutters and moves, and I look at it as a choreography.
I know, I'm still waiting. I was really trying to figure out what would be happening outside because I still not believe it.
When I looked at it as far as what's happening outside, I always think that a car is going by or a city lamp is there or
That last part was like, something else happened.
yeah, an accident out there. Well, we got a chance to watch it again, Luca. Thank you so much. And we have the filmmaker with us. Anne, I'm going to bring you in on at least one of these streams. Let's see if this is the one. Hello, Anne. How are you? Oh, I think you're in the other one. Hang on, Anne. There we go. There we go. Hi. And you are muted. We cannot hear you.
Hi.
Hey, Anne. There you are. I went to your other stream. Where are you right now? Physically, where are you right now?
In Western Massachusetts.
Okay. All right. Wow. Seed and Egg. This is animated. This is multimedia. Where did this come from?
Well, first I should say, thank you so much for including this work in your festival. The films have been great so far. And I want to say it was stopped just a little bit early because I play with the credits. So the seed transforms into decorated egg at the end. But just so you know, there's a tiny little addendum to that. So where it came from, in late winter, early spring, as you know, there was an invasion of Ukraine. And between February and really till now, I have been making work that has been exploring the mediations of this war and doing it through very, very DIY making, where I do everything. And, you know, sometimes it looks very handcrafted. So it's like this interstitial space between analog and digital. So I made this makeshift green screen that creates a almost glitchy look that looks like, you know, old school analog video, and kind of bridges that gap between the past, present, and the future. And I'm really interested in the folkloric dimensions of the sunflower seed. Actually, I can show you a little prop. This is the Petrikivka egg.
Yes.
It's a wooden painted egg, and inside I have, if you can see them,
sunflowers.
Sunflower seeds.
Yes.
And I have been working on remediating or recasting folklore from Ukraine and neighboring countries, and the ways that can speak to resilience of culture and possibility of a better future. So this is really just, all the other pieces have spoken word and are more complexly layered and longer. But this one is just kind of expressionistic or impressionistic, experimental. And it's really about like the magic of a green screen and the possibility of what the act of, if you remember at the beginning of the invasion in a port city, a woman offered sunflower seeds to a soldier so that they might bloom when he falls. And that is a kind of new folklore for me, the possibility of what can bloom through resistance, in that case, nonviolent resistance, and you know how that could be generative.
Wow. How did this movie impact you by making it, by creating it? How did it impact you personally?
Well, after I made the earlier ones, I thought I was done with it. But I really like the idea of how I could work in this wordless space. And so all my others are really decidedly video poetry. And this one, you have to find the poetry and the experimental imagery. I see some trash on my floor behind me, by the way. I didn't realize I was letting you into a lot of disheveled environment.
Not at all. Not at all. Do you have any questions, Marcia? No? No? Anne, so what is up next as far as what are you creating next with your green screen?
Well, the longer ones that this is a little younger sibling to, they're having a festival life right now. One that is called The Mitten. Actually, it has a title in 3 languages because it's about the spaces between the cultures at the border of Poland, Ukraine, and diaspora. And so that one is playing festivals right now, and its companion pieces are also finding a life apart from me. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm thinking about whether I want to continue to work with this theme or whether I want to expand to other folkloric investigations.
You like that folklore. That's wonderful. Since your film was accepted into live screenings, any festival that we have, you want to submit, it's waived. So no worries about paying a fee. So thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I just have one quick postscript. It actually turned out quite inadvertently 59 seconds long. So I'm grateful to your festival for the incentive to make it exactly 1 minute. So I love that gambit. I love that challenge.
Well, thank you so much. We might go to 22 seconds and work within Callie's number.
That would be awesome. And Callie, that was brilliant film. I love it.
If you get a chance, check out some of her other work.
I will.
If you want to go ahead and put it in the private chat, Callie. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you so much, and we will see you again. And keep on creating. We love your stuff.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Moving right along, we have a few more films. We have one more filmmaker here. So let's... And we have the filmmaker, Everdran. Is that correct? Let's add you to the group. Hello, Everdran. Is that how you pronounce it?
Hi. It's Evendran, but you can just call me Evie for short.
Evie, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Evie, animated piece, correct?
Yeah, this is actually still photographs that I took over the last month or so and then decided to animate them. So the bird's not actually flying. I did that in After Effects. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Wow. So you took photographs and you took those, you put them in the computer, and then you had them, you manipulated them?
Yeah. So I basically animated each bird in each image that you see there. Yeah, so it was like just a project that I took after like developing a wildlife photography hobby. So I just thought to myself, how can I make these birds fly, obviously in a fantastical manner. But yeah, it's always interesting to me how far we can push photography into the video medium.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
We still can't hear you. Yeah.
I'm not sure what to do.
We will come back to you in just a minute. We'll see if maybe Evie can work on his audio, and we will come back. We do have a few more films. I am going to end up with a comedy film at the end. I think you might like it. I always like to begin with something comedic and then end with something comedic. Evie, I'm going to bring you back on. Let's see if your audio is back on, because I think I heard you. There you are. Can we hear you again? No. Yeah.
Hi.
No. Looks like we have some glitches happening. So let's get started on our next film. It's us. I think we've lost audio.
I remember. The wind was strong that day. I remember hoping somehow the wind would catch you and blow you back to the ledge and change your mind like I couldn't.
We lost the audio. And we're going to bring Evie back. Evie, are you there now?
Yes, I am. Can you
I
hear me
think I
now?
can hear you. There we go. Yes, yes. I think it was on my end.
Okay.
Great. We lost sound on my end. So you this
No
this
problem.
film, which is black and white, correct? You just you made a decision to make it black and white, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I chose to make it black and white because the photographs were initially taken in color. And there was just a lot of color information there, green grass and the sky was blue and the clouds were white. And you couldn't really see the birds, they just get lost in the whole environment. So I decided to make it black and white. So you could see the movement of the birds and it could actually pop out on screen in each of the frames.
Yes, I did notice how it jumped out. The next film we're going to watch has a very similar take as far as black and white and having a woman actually floating, and you'll see that later. So where does this film go now?
Okay.
Are you sending it out to other film festivals?
Yeah, I just got down with it last week and I submitted it the day before live screening is closed. So it was just surprising to me. It actually got selected. The next day I woke up and I just saw the email from you guys that it is selected. So yeah, from now I'll just possibly look at other festivals and try and enter it elsewhere.
What about what you're creating next as far as your next film?
The next film I am creating is a 15-minute rotoscoped animation film. So that is actually quite a massive project that would possibly take me about 2 or 3 months to actually animate and get done. Yeah, so it's a big project, but it's good to commit yourself to things that are long term,
Oh yeah, I'm in the middle of 14-month project. So where are you right now? Did you say you were in India?
No, no, I'm in Durban, South Africa.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Marcia, do you have any questions for Evie? No?
I don't have any questions.
You don't? Well, we have another film coming up, which is very similar to yours in as far as the black and white is concerned, and a lot of floating and flying. So we'll check that out. Evie, thank you so much. Please continue creating and continue sending them my way through to live screenings. All right?
No problem. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Evie. Let's get back to it. We had some glitches on our side as far as the audio was concerned. Hopefully, we will have taken care of that.
First time that I met you, I thought it was so sweet. I stood around for the years, till I agreed. When I heard you talking, that little sound, to that recalled the sirens, and how then things went down.
Drop your closet, cause we're all free. We're lunch to breakfast, dinner, or tea. You loved us once just for a while. But remember, we are classy. We still have style. Just dinner or tea. So you loved us once just, here's what to do. Just take us someplace where we look new. Wash it all up and make sure we are clean. Donate your clothes to keep the world green.
Each day starts with hope. Each day I try to get it right. And sometimes it feels like I do fit in. But then something strange happens and I become different. Why can't I be like everyone else? What will make me acceptable? Well, I guess I've found the answer. Accept yourself as you are, and any color will suit you.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
And that concludes our films for this month. What do you think, Marcia?
I loved it, thank you. I liked the last one. I was looking at the number of angles from which they took that and gave it around, which was very cute.
Yeah, it must have been like a dance piece that they had to put a bicycle into, I guess. Yeah, I like I said, I received 36. We ended up with like 28. We ended up with 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 filmmakers. Yes, I reached out to about 9 or 10 of them, and if they can make it, they make it. If they can't, then they don't. Yes, very global. Let's see. Callie's in England. We had South Africa with Evie. Anne was in Spain. Luca was in Brazil.
Anne was in Massachusetts.
Anne was in Massachusetts. Yes, she was. So when is the next film festival? The next film festival, I sent it up here, is going to be, and it's the, excuse me, the 15-minute film festival. So you have up to 15 minutes, and it is September the 24th. So we will see you September 24th for our next one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, filmmakers. Continue creating. This happens when we have films, right? And every month I have films for some reason. Excuse me. They just keep coming back to me, or sending them to me at least. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the filmmakers too. And we will see you in a month. And we will go out with something you've already heard before.